So I've been tagged to do the Snob-O-Meter tag. Let's find out if I am one or not. Cheers. Hi, I'm Ridhima. Welcome to the Old Trunk. Today we'll be doing the Snob-O-Meter tag. This was originally created by that reading guy, and I was tagged by Fictionesque to do this tag. I'll be linking both of their channels in my description. Be sure to check them out. I found the Fictionesque's answers to be really good, and of course you should check out the reading guy as well. Okay, so coming to the video, this is my first tag and it feels really good to be tagged by somebody in the community. It feels to be included, and that's a very good feeling to have. And being tagged by a wonderful creator as her, it's happiness to another level. You should definitely check out her content. If you've not, I'll be linking her account down in the description. She's very intelligent and her perspective on things is really good. So do check her out. Okay, now, so getting on with the tag. There are 12 prompts in this tag and I'll be reading them from my laptop. Okay, so the first prompt says, what is your definition of book snobbery? So my definition of book snobbery is if anybody looks down upon the other person who doesn't fit into their perceived notions of their criterias of what an ideal reader is. It could stem from the different genres that people read or the amount of reading a person does. And they somehow consider the other person to be of inferior intellect because of their reading choices. The second prompt is there a genre or type of book you would never consider reading, such as, would you ever read a romance, or if you regularly read romance, would you ever try a science fiction novel? So my answer to this is I started reading very late in life, basically for my college degree. And because of that, I missed out on reading young adult novels. So I don't think so I'll be able to read that genre now in my life because of the reading tastes that I have now. The other genre that I don't think I'll ever read is high fantasy because it's basically big on world building. I like a character driven story, or then I even like a plot heavy story. But what I do not like in a novel is when it goes on and on about the setting of the world. I find it kind of tedious. So I don't think so I'll ever get into reading high fantasy. And the other genre that I don't think I'll read is romance, because I have given romance a try and it did not do it for me. So yeah. The next prompt is, does erotica count as literature? Yes, absolutely. It does count as literature. If it's a well-written erotica, it is definitely literature. One of my favorite authors, Kushwant Singh, is he's a prolific Indian author, and he does erotica like a pro. He's very good. He's very elegant in his writing, and Anais Nin, who is on my tibia, I've heard she does erotica in a very tasteful manner. So yes, if written in a good way, erotica can be literature. Okay, so the next prompt is it better to read classic books than popular bestsellers? Okay, so now to answer that question, I would say a book is what a reader wants it to be, or what a reader wants to gain out of it. When it comes to classic or modern classics, they do offer a better understanding of the worldview because they've stood the test of time. They were relevant when they were written, and they're relevant today too. Now, coming to popular bestsellers, they're good in providing you a very good view of the topical stuff, the society now, the everything that's very topical. So, good bestsellers, good written bestsellers. I'm not talking about the fanfics or the AI generated ones, but the good ones that are there are really good, and they provide you with a lot of insight into today's world. And so I wouldn't say that reading classics is better. So it's just what the reader is looking for. There's a book for every kind of reader, every time that a reader wants a book in their life, and what they want the book to be. So yeah, there's no better book. Okay, so the next prompt is, have you ever bragged about reading a classic in order to sound smart? No, I really don't give two shits about what people think, so I've never had the urge to brag about anything in life. Okay, so the next prompt is, do audiobooks count as reading, and what about comic books or graphic novels? Okay, so I have a very hot take on this. Listening to audiobooks is listening to audiobooks. It does not count as reading, in my opinion. And I don't consider it lesser in any way, but reading and listening are different verbs. For example, if you read a play and you go watch a play, they're not the same thing. When you read a play, you read a play. When you watch a play, you watch it. So yeah, when you listen to an audiobook, you're listening to an audiobook. Whereas I have a different opinion if you're into immersive reading. Now, what I mean by immersive reading is if you're listening to the audiobook alongside reading the book, and I've heard many people do this to get through really tough classics. So if you're doing that, I can consider that reading, but up until you're not reading it, it doesn't count as reading. Okay, now, so coming to comic books and graphic novels, I consider them reading because you're actually reading the word. I can't say about comic books, I haven't read many, but actually, I haven't read any. But when it comes to graphic novels, I've read a few, and they're as intense as your regular novel can be. So, yeah, I consider them reading. Okay, so the next prompt is, have you ever looked down at someone for reading a popular fluff book? A book with little substance to it, for example, a self help book or celebrity memoir. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to address the second half of this question. I don't consider a good written self help book or a good written celebrity memoir to be fluff. I've read a few self help books that were really good. The two that come to mind are The Body Keeps the Score and The School of Life, and I think everybody should read them. They were wonderful, and my partner has read Charlie Chaplin's memoir, his autobiography, and it's one of his all-time favorite books, and it's on my TBR too. So I don't consider them to be fluff in any manner. Okay, so now coming to the first half of the question, I don't look down upon anybody for reading whatever they want to read up until they are reading. My teenage daughter, she's heavily into reading YA novels and romance novels. I've always encouraged her to read as long as she reads. So I'm happy with her choices. And yeah, I don't look down upon anybody. The next prompt is, have you ever been the recipient of someone else's snobbery? No, I haven't, because I have a very small social circle and there are no snobs in it. Okay. The next prompt is, would you ever be friends with a snob? Maybe you already are. I am not friends with a snob. I have been friends with a said person who was a bragger and sort of a copycat, but not a snob in any way. And to answer the question, maybe you already are, I can never be. I can never be friends with a snob. I severed my friendship with the said person as well. I cannot be around people who have even the slightest bit of negativity in them. Yeah, so no. Okay, the next prompt is, are people who don't read less sophisticated than people who do? So, first of all, I'd like to say what sophistication means to me. It's a person who has a good worldview, who is empathetic towards others, and who's ready to change according to the changing times. You can read all the good stuff, you can watch all the good stuff, and still be very regressive and a very shitty person. So, reading cannot make a person sophisticated or good. But what can make a person more sophisticated is being aware of what one consumes, being introspective of oneself, and being empathetic towards others, and who tries to, implement the good stuff within themselves and are ready to reinvent themselves and unlearn the questionable stuff. Yeah, I guess so. To answer the question, I don't think reading less or more can make a person sophisticated. It's awareness, what we all need. But apart from saying that, yes, it can make people a little less interesting than the people who read, because they've read so much. They've obviously got more stories to tell. So, yeah, interesting, I think more, but sophisticated, I don't think so. The next prompt says, measure yourself based on your answers to the previous 10 questions. Would you qualify as a book snob? I don't think so. I am a book snob because I don't think I qualify to be a snob of any kind, because I myself came to reading very late in life. But I'll leave it to you to decide if I am one. If you feel I am one, please leave your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll definitely try to work myself through your suggestions, because I don't want to be a snob of any kind. We already have a lot of negativity in the world. I don't want to add to it. Okay, so the last prompt is, tag some people. Okay, so I am very new on YouTube and I don't know a lot of creators, but I would like to tag some creators who very graciously welcomed me on my first booktube video. Here goes. Read with Megs, Mild Rumpus, Nicholas of Autre Court, Reading Ideas, Rare Reads. And some YouTubers, I love to watch them, I'd like to tag them too. Read a Day Club, Diaries of Creativity, Anna Wallace, Emmy Reads. And I'll be tagging all of them in my description. Be sure to check out everybody's channels. They make wonderful videos. And thanks again for the tag Fictionesque. I am really humbled and very happy. If I haven't tagged you and if you feel you want to do this tag, feel free to do it. Please tag me in your description, as I'd love to hear your answers. And like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new here, press the bell icon so that you are notified of whenever I upload a new video. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay happy. Thanks for watching. Lots of love. Bye bye.